Hi everyone, this is Joseph Spivey, and in this first video I'd like to show you just a few of the things about Moodle and the way that we use it in class. So the first thing I want to let you know about is this upcoming events block in the upper right hand corner of Moodle. So I post all the assignments that you have in class to Moodle, including tests. And about a week to 10 days ahead of time, Moodle is going, anything that's coming up, any due date that's coming up is going to pop up in this upcoming events block. So, by checking here regularly, you know what your assignments are and when they're due. One thing to note is that I generally don't announce assignments in class. I just expect you to go on Moodle, again, on a regular basis to see what those assignments are. You can even click on the assignments here, and it comes to the place where you would actually be able to add your submission. So this is one of your first assignments, and you'll be able to add submission here. Okay, so that's nice. The other nice thing about Moodle is that it allows you to see what your grades are in the class. So your grades are right here. So over in the left hand corner over here, grades. Right? And this is sort of what your grade book looks like. So there are no grades yet, obviously, but there will be. The nice thing about the Moodle gradebook is that it automatically calculates your grade at any point in the course. So the course total here, once grades start appearing, you'll be able to see what your grade in the course is. That's a really nice feature. You always know how you're doing in the class. Okay. The second nice thing about Moodle is that it makes grading transparent. What that means is all the grades that I have for you, you have access to. Sometimes I make mistakes. Sometimes I might record an incorrect grade for a student. So it's important that you check Moodle and you check your gradebook fairly regularly to see if there's a discrepancy. Right? If you earned a grade on a homework and the grade is incorrect in Moodle, you can let me know so that we can correct that mistake. It doesn't happen often, but I like that you can. I like the transparency this provides. I like that students can let me know when there's an issue so that I don't make those sorts of mistakes. So again, I like those two aspects of Moodle. Of the Moodle gradebook, you always know how you're doing in the class, and you can check me to be sure that I haven't made any mistakes. Okay, so that's the gradebook. The next thing I want to do is to show you just this first little block of stuff up here. This is some of the important resources for the class. So I'm going to be going through some of these in more detail. First of all, notice that my office hours are posted here. Okay. Let's see. The next thing I want to talk about is the syllabus. So the syllabus is here. If you click on that, it will download the syllabus, and you can read the syllabus in detail. There's a second video that goes through the highlights of that syllabus, so I'm not going to do that now. So check out that second video. There's also a link to the Wofford College Honor Code. So the Honor Code is upheld in this class as in all classes. It is important that you adhere to the Honor Code. And I will note that in the past year or so, the Honor Code has undergone some changes. So I encourage you to check that out if you haven't done that recently. There's also a link to peer tutoring here. So Wofford College offers a service wherein a student who wants help in a class can request a free peer tutor. This is a student who has taken the class in the past and been successful in the class. And again, it's free. So if you want more information about how to obtain a peer tutor, you can click that link right there. It's a great resource. I highly encourage you to take advantage of that. The next three links are all about our textbook. Okay, so our textbook is a digital textbook, and it has interactive figures. So it has little sliders that you can slide to change graphs. It's a very interesting tool. So in order to set that up, you'll need these three links. This first link says download Wolfram CDF Player here. In order to read the textbook, you'll need a free app called Wolfram CDF Player. If you click here, it will take you to a link. That's a link that will take you to this website where you can download that software. Notice I'm on a Mac, and it knows that I'm a Mac, so that's why it pops up here. It should automatically detect what system you're on and allow you to download the app for your either Mac or PC. Right? So go ahead and download the Wolfram CDF Player and install Wolfram CDF Player as well. All right, that's the first thing you'll need to do in order to get access to our textbook, right? The second thing you'll need is the actual textbook files themselves. So in order to get the actual textbook, you can click here and here. And that takes you to this website where the text is available. Now you can download individual chapters by clicking on the appropriate download buttons over here, or you can download the entire textbook, all the files at one time as a zip file, and then you can unzip it on your computer and then look at each chapter individually. So you can do either of those things. So that's very nice. So let's see, I want to go back to our original site. So in order to get our textbook, you first need to install Wolfram CDF Player using this link. Then you need to actually have the textbook. It's available at this link. Now, some Mac users will experience problems. When you download and try to open the book, it will open up as something that's unreadable, or it will just say, I can't read this at all. Right, one of those two things may happen. Now, this only occurs for a small percentage of Mac users. Okay, so if that happens to you, you will need to look at this. You will need to click here and follow the directions. These directions should allow you to fix that issue. Okay, so if you're having trouble reading the textbook and you're a Mac user, you should do that. Again, that's not really for everyone. Only for those small percentage of Mac users who have trouble opening the textbook, right? Don't do this until after you've installed Wolfram CDF Player and you've downloaded the textbook and tried to open it. Okay. If you have any questions about getting the textbook, any issues with that, please call me or email me or come by my office and we can chat about it and get you set up. Okay. The next The next link is another app that could be very useful for you. So you can use a graphing calculator on tests and homework. That's a really useful thing to have. If you don't want to pay $100 for a graphing calculator, and you don't have a graphing calculator, you don't want to pay $100 for a graphing calculator, you could instead use this app for your smartphone. This app basically allows you to do graphing things, but it also, when in use, allows me, the teacher, to sort of block access to the internet. So you can be on your smartphone using your smartphone as a graphing calculator, but you don't have access to the internet, right? So that's a good thing. This is, I think, $5 for you to buy. This is the first semester I'm trying this. I'm sure there's going to be a learning curve for me as well as you guys. But if you want to go that route, I would highly encourage you to check that out. Again, $5 as opposed to $100 seems like a pretty good deal to me. I'll be giving you more information about this in class. Okay, but you can use that link to get that software now if that's something you would want to do. Okay, I'm going to skip this one for now. I'll come back to it. The next two links are folders. So this one, when we have a test, I'll post the key to the test in this folder. So check that out. And lecture notes, we will have lecture notes most days. So if you miss a day of class or lose your lecture notes, they'll be available in this folder. And sometimes it takes a few days for me to post them just because I forget. I'm slow to post them. If you go there and they're not posted yet, just email me and I'll go ahead and post those. All right. The next thing I want to talk about is WebAssign. So this class will use an online homework system called WebAssign. It's a very, very useful system because it allows you to do your homework and type in those answers and get immediate feedback. So this is very, very useful because the old way of doing homework was, you write it out on a piece of paper, you turn it into me, I grade it, and I get it back to you a week later, say, right? But it might be possible for you to have some sort of misconception on all those homework problems, but you wouldn't understand that you had a misconception until the homework was returned to you a week later, right? That's really not ideal at all. You'd like to know immediately whether there's a misconception, right? Because in that week, we've been covering new material, right? So WebAssign allows you to type in an answer and see immediately if you got the answer right or wrong. And if you got an answer wrong, you can redo it. So on most of the homework WebAssign assignments that we'll have, you will get 100 tries to answer a question correctly with no grade penalty at all, right, for getting a question wrong. So it's not, I just care, I think it's most important that you understand how to do a problem. If it takes you a few times, that's fine with me. I just would like you to work to make progress to get the right answer, right? So I think WebAssign is a very, very nice system. A lot of our homework assignments will be done using WebAssign. WebAssign is not free. It's something you have to pay for. So if you click on this link here, the first thing that will happen is it will establish a link between the WebAssign homework system and Moodle, which you're here now. So the first time you'll go through it, you'll have to set up an account. If you already have a WebAssign account, you can go ahead and log in, and it will link that WebAssign account to this Moodle website. If you've never used WebAssign before, it will take you through the steps of setting up an account. Okay. The first week of class, WebAssign will be free for you to use. That's during the drop ad period. Right. After that, it will require a payment. You can either type in your credit card information, and pay for it directly that way, or you can go to the bookstore and purchase the prepaid WebAssign access card. And that comes with a little access code that you'll be able to type in there as well. So you will need to do that in order to do some of the homework, much of the homework. So go ahead and click on that link and get that set up as well as soon as you can. Okay, the last thing that I wanted to talk about is just after this, the way that Moodle website is set up. The first stuff here is just, resources. And then after that, Moodle is organized by day. So this is our first day of class. So this lists the assignments from the first day of class. When we have the second day of class, I'll put the date here, and then I'll list important stuff there, right? And so on. So you can sort of see each day what the assignments are, what the important stuff to note are. I think that about wraps it up for Moodle. Our second video will be looking at some of the highlights from the syllabus. So please check out that second video. All right, thanks very much.